For those of you out there who are wondering if you can get someone committed to treatment who has a drug and alcohol problem, I'm going to explain that process to you today. But before I do that, I want to let you know that it's probably not the answer to your problems, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand why. Basically, if you're over the age of 16 years old, it means you have to give consent to go to treatment. That means mom and dad can't sign you into treatment without your permission. You have to say, yes, I'll go. And that gets pretty complicated when you have a 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old kid who's got a major drug and alcohol problem, who's reckless, who's destroying their life and yours, and you're desperate and you want to know what to do. So many families want to figure out how to get their loved one into treatment. They want to know how to get them committed. So basically, to get committed to treatment, you have to show an imminent danger to themselves. So someone has to be imminent. That means immediate danger to themselves. And that's really hard to show with drug and alcohol. You can show that someone's reckless, that they're doing stupid things, but it's really hard to prove that they're immediately going to kill themselves if you don't put them in treatment. It can be done. Most of the time when people get committed to treatment, it's for being suicidal or homicidal or some kind of severe psychosis where they're really, really, really out of their mind, delusional, and they have to be kept safe. You can get it done for drug and alcohol reasons. It's just hard. So, for example, you may have to show that a mother is every day driving around drunk with her kids in the car, or that someone's in such bad medical condition that they are nearly about to die because of their drug use. The thing you need to understand about this is that if you get someone committed to treatment, what happens is usually the person shows up in like the emergency room for some reason, and a doctor and a nurse or a doctor and a social worker will come and talk to the person, and or sometimes their family. And if you can explain to them what's going on, they'll call a judge and see about getting the person committed to psychiatric care. What they're really doing is they're getting them committed for an evaluation period. And in this state, they say it's a minimum of 3 days. In the hospital where I used to work, it really was. We had 5 business days to evaluate the person and then make a recommendation to the court. So they're really officially just committed and held for evaluation for that short period of time. Let me promise you, 5 days will not cure an addiction. It can be helpful if someone is an immediate danger to themselves to get them stabilized enough to hopefully have a chance to talk some sense into them and get them to continue treatment where they are or somewhere else. But if all you're going to do is get them held for 5 days, they're going to come right back out and you're going to be in the same problem again. So yes, you can do it. It's kind of difficult. You have to be able to give clear evidence that they're an immediate threat to themselves or others. And just know that they're probably not going to be held longer than about a week, and that's probably max. When I used to work at the hospital, I used to do some of these examinations. So after someone would land in the hospital, they appoint 2 people called designated examiners, and those people have to evaluate the person and make a recommendation to the court. And unless the person was telling us, yes, I'm going to go kill myself or someone else, or they were seriously reckless and you could prove it, they were going to get released after those 5 days. And in most cases, even on the rare occasion where they get held past that, they still have to be evaluated in a few more days, and you have to go through the same process. And almost everyone that's in the hospital is smart enough, even a kid, to figure out what they need to say to get released. And you can't go to a court and say, yeah, but I know they're lying. So all you have really is what the person is saying and doing. Most people know what to say and do to get out of that situation. But I do want you to know, if it's an immediate danger situation, then you need to tell the story to the physician or whoever's seeing them. If they'll talk to you, you've got to give them every single piece of information if you want to have a chance at getting someone. Your very best bet is actually to get someone to agree to go to treatment themselves. Now, they don't have to go running and skipping and happy about it, but they do have to agree to go and sign themselves in. There's lots of ways to get that to happen. A lot of times you have to leverage people into treatment, and some of them my other videos, I'll go into how that is. At Hope for Families, we use a process called the invisible intervention. There are other types of interventions, but the key is just to get someone to agree to go. It doesn't matter why they go, just getting them to agree to go raises your chances that they'll actually put some work in and be successful and get some actual real recovery.